Hey everyone, and welcome to Sober Drives, a podcast by Sam,
and Jess,
all about sobriety, mental health, and other life issues. So come on, get in, let's go for a drive.
Beep, beep!
That was too much, I'm too tired for that.
So today, we're going to be talking about...
You need to stop hitting your elbow.
Ain't so funny. Today, what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about... Sobriety Milestones, which are important. Every second that you're sober is important.
Yes.
Every second. And your family should be proud of you and your friends. And you should have a positive support system to be telling you that they're proud of you because it's nice to hear. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
So Sam, how long have you been sober?
I had to check the date. So yesterday was actually my 14 months. Yeah.
That's a year and 2 months. We're not talking about babies here, guys.
Yeah.
That's a year and 2 months.
Yeah, that's crazy to me that it's already been that long.
That is a long time.
It's like, and the thing is, like, I feel like because of like lockdowns and COVID
Excuse me. Sorry.
You're okay. Because of lockdown and COVIDs, like, I feel like it didn't feel like that long. Just because, like, you're not going to so many get-togethers where it's, like, obvious that, like, oh, yeah, I'm sober. And, you know, stuff like that. Like, you're not really going to get together. So, it doesn't really feel like that long. And because, like, this is my second time in a recovery program. So... it just, like, I already had that big support net around me.
Yeah.
That it kind of just flew by this time. So how long have you been sober? To get back on subject.
I actually just celebrated my 5 months on Sunday. Yes.
That's so exciting.
5 months, which is weird because I did have, like, some recovery time before, like, at the beginning of my addiction, like, years ago, but I didn't really keep track of my sobriety. I didn't go to any meetings. I didn't get any help, so it was kind of just I stopped doing it, and I was like, whatever, and I kept thinking about it, and then I didn't keep track, so I didn't realize that I was sober for, like, so many years until I started doing it again, and now that I'm keeping track of it, it feels like I'm proud of it, but it's almost like, wow, I have so much to go. But that's okay because I've already come this far, and I just want to say it's very important to have a positive support system when you're, you know, celebrating. Well, not even celebrating. It's just nice for it to be acknowledged that it's another, you know, day or month of sobriety. I was a little frustrated on my 5 months. It was stressful for me. It was a big day, but it wasn't like I felt like I'd come so far, but I also had so far to go, so I didn't know if I should be disappointed or proud. But I'm definitely proud. So,
I'm proud of you.
5 months. 5 plus 14 equals 19.
What motivated you at first to get sober?
Oh yeah, I almost died. And, like, my heart, like, I don't want to die, man.
Yeah. That's a valid point.
I'm gonna get emotional, yeah. I don't want to die, and I have too much to lose, honestly. And my family, because I saw how it was affecting the people around me. People close to me who had started using again as well. And I was like, nope. Freaking it. That's it. I'm not gonna be the reason that, you know, not just for me, but for other people. And mainly for me. I know you have to do it for yourself, so I did. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe I'll be able to be a little bit more, maybe seeing me move past this and be in recovery and heal will help inspire others to do the same and not want their life to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What motivated you to get sober?
I just got to the point where I realized that what I'm doing isn't good for me. I wasn't happy mentally. I wasn't happy with my body. I wasn't happy with the people around me. Because, it's, I had friends, but they were party friends, they weren't...
Yeah, they weren't really, with an actual emotional connection.
Yeah.
My friendships were like that a lot, too, but, a lot of my friendships just were not doing that. I changed my mind. A lot of my friendships revolved around just getting high.
Yeah.
Getting messed up, because that's all we ever did. It's not they didn't even know my middle name, probably, my last name,
Yeah, I had friends that I was really close with, and they only knew me through my addiction, and at that point I realized, you don't really know me,
Yeah, and afterwards, when you don't want to get high with them anymore, they're like, who the F are you?
Yeah.
What happened? You're lame now. I just want to live. I don't want to survive. I want to live. I want to go kayaking.
I want to go kayaking too.
I want to go paddleboarding. I was imitating you.
Oh, thank you.
How'd I do?
Very well.
I want to go kayaking.
I just... I lost friends when I was doing my resentments, too. And, making amends. Which is crazy.
Friends
because
that weren't...
they accepted that I was I was sober and in recovery, and they were okay with it, in quotation marks. But, when I told some people that I was reaching out to a specific individual to make amends, they didn't like that. And I was like, how are you gonna tell me that I can't make amends to somebody that we all immensely hurt, and you're not okay with me reaching out and doing that?
And they say to only make your amends if it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
Or somebody else. But I think it means you're the person making amends to directly. I don't think it means people... You're talking about, people in your past, that you've used with, and then you made amends to somebody else.
Yeah.
And the people you had previously been friends with were upset.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If somebody's gonna stop you from making amends and working your recovery and working your sobriety,
do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a song that has lyrics like that. I don't know any. I'll find one.
Do you believe in tracking your sobriety by time or growth in emotions? Because that's a big topic for people.
I think both are important.
Yeah.
I think time is important so you can realize really how much, time, I don't know. I can't say which is more important, but most people go by time because they can tell how much, they can see the amount of time that they've had that growth in.
Yeah.
I think the main priority is seeing what growth they've done, what they've improved on, what they still need to improve on. And I think the time they do that is in that time, and that's how they observe their growth during that time, not by how long it's been. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My brain's a little Scrabble.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, though, because, I look at my key tags that I get from my 12-step program that commemorate time, but I can look back at them and remember exactly what emotional state I was in for all of them. So that also helps me track my emotional growth. Because I think both are really important. You gotta, obviously, it's nice. It's nice and it's comforting knowing how long you've been sober for versus how long you were in your addiction for, especially when you surpass the amount of time you've been sober versus how long you were in your addiction. I can't wait for that time in my life. It's down the road.
Mine's down the road. I got some time.
Yeah, but it's nice when you do that, when you've been sober longer than you've been stuck in your addiction. But I think growth in emotions is so important because there's a difference between sobriety and recovery.
What? What's the difference? statement, Sam. Tell us.
So, like, sobriety, you can be sober and you, like...
Dry drunk.
Yeah?
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
A dry drunk?
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of being sober but not really mentally being sober.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I went like this. We're not I'm crazy.
Yeah, but there's a difference between sobriety and recovery. Recovery, you're actually... Like, sobriety, you put in the work. You're still maintaining sobriety, but recovery, you're putting in that emotional.
Sobriety is, I guess you could say, time, and recovery is the process and mental work you've put in.
Yeah. Why do you think people place such importance on sober birthdays? Do you know what a sober birthday is?
Yeah, the 1 year mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
it's
what
like
it
your
is.
yearly mark.
My sober birthday is my real birthday!
Double birthday?
Yeah, double birthday!
Birthday squared.
Square root of pi. Pi's 3.14.
Yeah, why do people place such importance on sober birthdays?
Because 365 days is a long time to be sober.
It is, yeah.
1 year mark, that's like, and it's like, I don't know, for me it's like, that was the first day, a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, that was the first day that you were sober, that you had a sober day, that your life was getting back on track and starting.
You changed it. I think sober birthdays are just a great milestone to achieve, you know? Like, it's... Every day is a new milestone to achieve. But...
That's a big deal.
The fact that you did it...
Excuse me.
365 times, you reached 365 milestones, that birthday is gonna be a damn good celebration.
And imagine how many, that's days, 365 days. Imagine how many, 24 hours in a day. So how many hours have you been sober? Imagine minutes and hours. How many minutes have you been sober? How many seconds? So many.
So we talked earlier about what motivated you at first to get sober, but what motivates you now to maintain your sobriety?
I've already worked so hard. And I know that if I go back down that path, I'm not going to be able to get off it again. Like, sure, I'd like to be like, oh, yeah, I can do it. Moderation, management, and just, but I know that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that if I got back into it again, I would lose myself. I would lose my life.
Yeah.
And I would lose a lot of people close to me because I've already put them through so much. Why are they going to keep staying around and keep being there if I keep doing the same thing? It's literally insanity. I'm doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I'm insane in the membrane. Like, you know?
Yeah, so you basically said it at the beginning, but one quote that I've heard a lot in recovery is that I could have another relapse in me, but I don't have another recovery in me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge. That's
sad,
powerful.
actually, the way
it's
you said
sad,
it.
but that's huge because it's so true. That statement is very true for me. I know that I could have another relapse in me, but I don't think I have another recovery in me.
Yeah. And the amount of strength, I don't think a lot of people, I don't think they understand that the amount of strength to stay sober, you could be sitting there and have your DOC on your mind for hours and nobody will know, because if you try and say something, they'll be like, well, what, you're just gonna go relapse, you're just gonna go drink or do drugs again? I'm allowed to think what I'm gonna think. I'm allowed to be worried that could be right around the corner, because triggers are everywhere and you don't know all your triggers.
Yeah.
You will never know every single trigger you have.
You develop new triggers.
I'm triggered by the stupidest, like, just stupid stuff. If I'm up, like, if I'm awake at 4 or 5 in the morning, I get triggered.
Yeah.
Really bad, because I used to be up till 4 or 5 in the morning or not sleeping at all. So if I don't sleep, I get very triggered.
I relate to that one. If I try to pull an all-nighter now, like, I'm like, it's 7 a.m. at this point, I'm just gonna go drink, I'm gonna do whatever, like, I'm like, what? But if I go to bed at Bless you.
No, there's a hiccup.
I know.
Thank you for your blessing.
You're welcome. If I go to bed at like 6 a.m., say, I'm fine if I wake up at 7, but if I'm up until 7 and I have to keep going with my day, like,
It's triggering.
It's so
it makes
triggering.
me feel like I'm freaked up all over again. Like,
yeah.
I stopped doing this and I think a lot of people don't understand that when I say I'm triggered, it doesn't just mean, oh, I'm triggered and I want to go use. It means I could be experiencing pause. I could be experiencing post-acute withdrawal syndrome, which a lot of individuals can experience up to 2 years after becoming sober, like physically. And that's a big trigger in itself, because when you experience post-acute withdrawal syndrome, you feel like you're on that drug again. You feel like you're high, which means like, well, I already feel like I'm high, I may as well just do it. Or for me, it's the opposite. I hate that feeling. I never want to feel it again. So when that starts happening, I have to do meditation. I have to do some calming exercises. I have to take a nap, like something to stop it, because it's so, like, triggers are not just things that make you want to use. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And pause is such a real thing, because I'm 14 months, like I said, and I still, if I'm overly tired or I didn't get enough sleep or I'm up too late, like, I feel like I'm drunk or high all over again. Yeah,
I don't even
it's so
like that
weird.
feeling now. Like, before I would have been like, damn, I'm getting high for free. I don't gotta pay.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, ew, stop. I don't want it anymore. I can't stand that feeling. It makes me want to be sick. It makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
It really does.
And, like, so pause is a real thing, but I think, like, that, like, hangover feeling after is real, too. Do you ever get that?
Like the come down?
Yeah. Like, you feel like you're hungover all over again.
Yeah. I wasn't a big drinker, so it's more like my come down is more like I can't sleep. Like, if I'm up late, I'll start getting pause, and then I feel like I can't sleep because I feel like I have to come down from it all over again, which is so emotionally and mentally and even physically draining. It's exhausting. Like, why the did I stop if it's just gonna keep happening, you know?
Yeah.
Not literally, because but my brain thought that at first. Like, why am I going through all this if I still have to feel like
Yeah.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's such a crazy phenomenon to me. Like it.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I never knew why I got that feeling for so long until I heard what that was, what pause was. And I was like,
yeah,
this is all making sense now.
And yeah, I didn't really know what it was at first either, but like when I got home, like, because I talked about it in rehab, they taught us about it. Yeah. And I was like, whatever, that's not a thing. I got home, and within the first like couple days, I felt like I was high again, and like I was like, I want to go to the hospital. Like, why is my heart, and it's literally physical signs: sweating, shaking, not being able to sleep, my heart beating so hard and fast out of my chest. Like, I don't understand why. I'm like, is this gonna be like this forever? Because I can't take it anymore. You think this is a joke? It's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. What's something you would say to someone who's kind of on the fence about getting sober? Like, what is one piece of advice or motivation or inspiration, whatever you want to call it, that you would give to somebody that's like, I know I need to get sober, but I don't know how?
Reach out. Research. What is the harm in getting sober? You don't have to do it. Don't do it by yourself, especially if it's alcohol, because that's dangerous.
Yes.
What is the harm of reaching out? What is the harm of getting sober? You keep doing what you're doing and using, and you could wind up dead. No offense, I'm just being honest. You could wind up dead, sick, in a coma, jail. What is it they say?
Jails, institutions, and death.
Institutions, and death.
Yeah.
So what's the harm of trying?
Yeah.
if you can't get sober right away, you can try again. You can always try again. But you should do it before it's too late. Because there's no harm in trying.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Who's it gonna hurt if you get sober? You think it's gonna hurt you. You think that you're the one hurting. It's not. It's helping you. You're helping yourself. Really, the other people around you are hurting. Yes, you're hurting because it's hard and you struggle, but you don't realize the impact that you have on the people around you until you're actually getting sober, or you have a slip up, or you're experiencing it. So, if you had a piece of advice to give to somebody who's trying to get sober.
You kind of said the big ones. You said reach out, research, and what's the harm? And I know when I got sober, I was scared I was going to lose people when I got sober. And, like, I didn't lose people.
They lost you.
They lost me because they never had me. They
had a version of you.
They had a sick
wasn't
version
you.
of me. They never knew the real me. And now, I think the only thing I lost getting sober was this idea I had of myself. Because it wasn't who I was. I thought my whole life I was going to be a drunk and I was going to get high every day. And, I thought that was going to be my life. And so I created that perception of myself. And getting sober, I lost that perception of myself because I realized that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. So, but that took a lot of soul searching and a lot of mental searching and emotional searching, and it's a long process. I'm gonna say it's a lifelong process. But
you never stop being an addict. I'm very emotional today. It's a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
Look what's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Sun. Sun. Mr. Golden Sun. Please shine down on me.
We were all over the place with this episode.
That's okay. Because we're people.
Sobriety milestones are a personal thing, they impact people differently. Some months I forget where I'm at. Some days I forget what day it is, what my sobriety milestone is, what my next sobriety milestone is. But if you know somebody that's sober and would like to celebrate their sobriety milestones, tell them you're proud of them. It's not hard to say you're proud of somebody.
It's not. You're right. Keep going.
It's not hard to tell somebody you're proud of them if you're genuinely proud of them. So why don't you just say it?
Even if it's not on their milestone, on their sobriety date, you could literally just be like, hey, I'm proud of you.
So we had a good episode this week. It was kind of all over the place. We really apologize. But with that being said, be proud of your loved ones or your friends or family or
yourself.
Yeah,
be proud of yourself, yo.
Whatever your milestone is, whatever your sober date is, be proud that you're at least sober, that's hard. It's not easy being sober in a world where drinking and drugs and everything like that is normalized or glamorized, So be proud of yourself, and we're proud of you, no matter where you are. No
matter where you are, we'll always be proud.
Exactly. But we hope you have a good week, and we will see you again.
Have a beautiful 24.
Have a beautiful 24. Times 7, because we won't see you again until next Sunday.
We never see them, actually. They see us.
That's true. Happy 24.
Happy 24.
And we'll see you next week.
Love you.
Love you. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.